I don't know that I care about the ranking. I care about the night was important because I think that put us on a national talking point. I think the fact that we're in the conversation helps because that means that people are hearing Duke football, right? And that was the one thing that we felt like we had to really change to get this program going was when somebody hears Duke football, what do they think of? And I think right now and for the foreseeable future, they're going to think of that field rush, right? And so that's a much better picture of Duke football than maybe what it was 5, 10, 15 years ago, right? And so that stuff I think probably matters a little bit more than the ranking. You know, you guys decide where we are. I don't have anything to do with that. So,
Coach, with beating a team like Clemson, no matter what, no matter how it happened, would be an incredible feat for this team. But beating Clemson, knowing that Duke did not play a perfect game, turned the ball over a couple times, some sloppiness a little bit, how much confidence does that give you looking forward to the rest of the season?
yeah, so it's funny. I appreciate the question. We talked about this a lot last week and where confidence comes from. I think confidence comes from preparation. It comes from what we do in the summer. It comes from how much work we put into this thing. It comes from what it looks like every day out there at practice. That's why we should have went out on the field against Clemson as a confident team. And regardless of result, those are the reasons why we should believe in who we are and what we're capable of. And so, again, I don't know that it's confidence. I think it's valid. The word that just keeps coming to mind is validation, right? Because I can say that just like every coach in America could say that. And sometimes validation is what helps it grow, right? And so I could say you should be confident to go out there in this game, and if we go out there and lose by 4 touchdowns, there's no validation to it, and they look at me off the game and they're like, yeah, you're crazy, right? But if you get the validation to what you're saying, I think that is what allows it to snowball moving forward. It's probably more how I look at it.
Now that you had a game to go through it, what did you feel about the new clock rules and how they affected it?
Yeah, I didn't think it impacted it much at all. I think we got the numbers. I think it turned out to be 5 plays a game, which is not even really one drive. So. I think it played out in that area of the field where area of the game where we talked about it. When they were trying to come back down 2 scores and the clock wasn't stopping on first downs, like I think that ate away a couple plays. But that's really the only time it even crossed my mind, to be honest with you.
Mike, let me ask you about Jalen Stinson. He's probably the smallest recruited player on the team. We keep hearing he's one of the hardest workers, one of the hardest hitters. How does a player like that become such an impact player at this level?
Because size isn't everything. I think toughness, grit, heart, determination, want to play a huge role in success. It's why every 5-star is not a guaranteed draft pick, right? There's some intangibles to this game that have to go along with it. And he has them all. I mean, he has every intangible you would want a small kid to have, and he's not that small. I mean, he's thick and he's built through the upper body, and he's just short, but he has every intangible you would want a kid like that to have, and the intangibles are what drive him. And so he's exceptionally fast, he's twitchy, he's athletic, he's fearless, he puts a lot of work in, he plays extremely hard, and he's extremely competitive. And so you put all of that into a package, and all of that sounds like a really good football player, and so he just happens to be a little short, but he certainly overcomes